Hey everyone, today we're looking at the 10 biggest announcements from this week's enormous Nintendo Direct. Geoff Keighly gives us a glimpse at The Wolf Among Us 2, and is PlatinumGames revving up production for a live service game? All this and more on this edition of the Dear Listeners Newsroom. What's up everybody, welcome to the Dear Listeners Newsroom, TRG's weekly news recap. My name is Micah Hendrick, and here are the top headlines for February 11th, 2022. Finally, there isn't some major acquisition in the video game industry, and we can talk about some games. Nintendo brought the heat this past Wednesday when they conducted one of their major Direct showcases for 2022. While we don't have time to chop up every detail, here are the 10 biggest takeaways in announcement order. Nintendo started off strong, revealing Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, a follow-up to the popular 2017 Musou spin-off Fire Emblem Warriors. If the title doesn't give it away, this game will take place in the same universe as the recent hit Fire Emblem 3 Houses and will release on June 24th, 2022. The Mario Strikers series is back with Mario Strikers Battle League. Players can equip different gear onto their roster for not only visual flair but also stat modifications. Battle League also introduces the Hyper Strike, a supercharged special shot that can earn players 2 goals. The trailer also boasted that up to 8 players, 4 per team, can all play on a single Nintendo Switch. Fans can expect this title on June 10th, 2022. Splatoon 3 will launch this summer on Nintendo Switch, and the company took time to show off the game's new co-op mode called Salmon Run Next Wave. There seemed to be a lot of bosses and an egg throw. Honestly guys, I'm not even sure what it was I was looking at here, so I'll just let you Splatoon fans have fun with that one. The long-rumored Chrono Cross remaster has finally revealed itself, and the trailer looked kinda rough. Admittedly, the game comes from an era of 3D games that doesn't hold up too well, but this is where these sort of remasters come into play, at least one would hope. Chrono Cross The Radical Dreamers Edition will release on April 7th for not just Switch, but PS4, Xbox One, and Steam as well. Fingers crossed that those versions look a teensy bit better than what we saw here. Klonoa is back in Klonoa Fantasy Reverie series, a remastered collection of Klonoa 1 and 2, which originally launched in 1998 and 2001 respectively. Known for popularizing the 2.5D camera perspective, Klonoa was always an overlooked yet worthy entry into the platforming genre. Klonoa Fantasy Reverie series will hit Switch as well as PlayStation and Xbox platforms and PC on July 8th. In a shocking yet completely welcome turn, Square Enix announced that Japanese-only SNES cult classic Live Alive will be coming to Switch stateside on July 22nd. In this unique RPG, players select one of several protagonists from completely different eras. Prehistory, the Wild West, Imperial China, and many more eras are visited in Live Alive. Have you been missing your Wii Sports? Fear not, as the Big N has you covered with the brand new Nintendo Switch Sports. Tennis, bowling, and chambara make a return from Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort, but 3 new games will be added as well: soccer, badminton, and volleyball. Nintendo will also be adding golf in a free update later this fall. Much like the Wiimote, players will wag and shake their Switch Joy-Con to get their avatar to kick and spike the ball. Nintendo Switch Sports will release on April 29th, 2022. We already know that the anticipated tactical RPG Triangle Strategy is coming to Switch on March 4th, but Square Enix shadow dropped a sizable demo for the game last Wednesday. Booting up the demo will earn you progress through Chapter 3, which can then in turn be used in the main game to continue playing from there. So head on over to the Nintendo eShop now if this one tickles your fancy. 5 years after its initial re-release on Switch, Nintendo will be adding remastered track packs from legacy Mario Kart games to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. The Booster Course Pass is a collection of 6 DLC track packs, each containing 8 courses. Nintendo will release Wave 1 of the track packs on March 18th, and continue doing so through the duration of 2023. The Booster Course Pass will cost you $25, but it's also included for free with a Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pack subscription. So while we wait for the highly anticipated Mario Kart 9, Nintendo is bent on extending Mario Kart 8's life for as long as they possibly can. Closing out the show, Nintendo handed the reins over to Monolith Soft, who revealed Xenoblade Chronicles 3. In a press release, Nintendo says, quote, "Players will step into the roles of protagonists Noah and Mio amid turmoil between the hostile nations of Kiev and Agnes," end quote. The story will tie directly into the events of Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2. A mixture of cinematics and world traversal were shown off in the fantastic looking trailer. Xenoblade Chronicles launches in September of 2022. Before the major Nintendo Direct, Geoff Keighly and Telltale Games took center stage when they fully unveiled The Wolf Among Us 2. The revived Telltale has picked up the pieces left behind from their excellent run several years ago that included The Walking Dead, Batman, and of course, The Wolf Among Us. Telltale CEO Jamie Audley tells Keighly that they'll be using Unreal Engine for The Wolf Among Us 2, which is being co-developed by Ad Hoc, a studio composed of several original The Wolf Among Us alumni. Ad Hoc's co-founder Nick Herman explains that the game is still a prequel to the comics, but takes place roughly 6 months after the events of Season 1. The trailer for the game looks incredible, but given only a 2023 release window, fans will have to wait just a little bit longer before they can sink their teeth into this one. We have an interesting new wrinkle this week in Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard. On Wednesday, Microsoft President and co-chairman Brad Smith penned an article on Microsoft's official blog titled, "Adapting Ahead of Regulation, A Principled Approach to App Stores." In the article, Smith details how Microsoft will be adapting a set of, quote, "open app store principles that will apply to the Microsoft Store on Windows and to the next generation marketplaces we will build for games," end quote. This is all a clear move to preemptively smooth over any concerns antitrust regulators may have about the Activision Blizzard acquisition. However, the juicy part for gamers is found in Smith's clarity of the nature of multi-platform games staying multi-platform. Quote, "To be clear, Microsoft will continue to make Call of Duty and other popular Activision Blizzard titles available on PlayStation through the term of any existing agreement with Activision. And we have committed to Sony that we will also make them available on PlayStation beyond the existing agreement and into the future so that Sony fans can continue to enjoy the games they love. We are also interested in taking similar steps to support Nintendo's successful platform. We believe this is the right thing for the industry, for gamers, and for our business," end quote. While this quote has been met with its own set of skepticism, it seems pretty clear that Microsoft is at least making a fair effort to try to keep games like Call of Duty on PlayStation, which is really a win for everyone involved. Japanese gaming publication Famitsu recently published an interview with PlatinumGames president and CEO Atsushi Inaba. In this interview, translated by Video Games Chronicle, Inaba commented on the status of their major upcoming game, Project GG, as well as Platinum's plans to mix up their traditional formula. Quote, "Project GG is still in the stage of testing various things, so I can't tell you much about it, but when it comes to the future of game production, we want to focus on creating games that are different from the past. I would like to focus on creating games that can be enjoyed and loved for a longer period of time. Of course, we would like to cherish and create small but brilliantly conceived games such as Soul Cresta, and games in which you can enjoy the process of clearing the game by going through one-off, well-designed stages such as Bayonetta. However, the projects that we are trying to create for the future will be different in terms of their structure. Considering the changes in the market over the next 5 years or so, I think it is absolutely necessary for us to do this," end quote. Whether it's Battle Royale, live service, or the metaverse, we're in an era when it's tempting to chase the hot trends. Hopefully Platinum can find a way to both retain its core identity while still maintaining financial success for years to come. Alright guys, that's it for this edition of the Dear Listeners Newsroom. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw today, hit that like button below. Subscribe to the TRG YouTube channel. You can find me over on Twitter at Doug's Vest. You can follow the Reformed Gamers on Twitter at TRG Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the news. We'll see you next week.